What's poppin', people? It's Dante. Good morning, Philadelphia. Here we are on the beautiful Schuylkill River Trail. We got a crisp, cool breeze here, around 67 degrees Fahrenheit on this beautiful Friday. Isn't this everyone's favorite day of the week? Friday. It's that day where the weekend creeps in and everyone goes to the deep, dark caves somewhere along Sanson Street and goes to the bar or the club and gets crunk, gets drunk, drinks alcohol and sips on that good. Yeah, maybe the real medicine isn't within the club, the bar, you know, the poison, that medicine that soothes your soul. You know, you drink the alcohol, you know, you get around a crowd that you all just kind of like get around and huddle around, and you don't really know anyone, you can't really see anyone, and you're all just kind of like miserable together. And like the beer, the drug, the alcohol, it becomes this like medicine in a sense, you know, where you kind of ease the pain of the week. You know, when I walk around, when I hit the streets and I start to photograph, I always listen to things. I always listen to conversations and overhear things, and it's like you hear people that are like drinking or whatever, sitting outside the restaurants, like, oh, you know, thank God it's Friday. Like, it's the only thing that can get me through the week. You know, Becky at HR was like really pissed and she was trying to boss me around, and it's like, holy, that sucks. So yeah, maybe oh wow, did the lights just, something just changed? I just heard a click. So yeah, what is the real medicine? Someone's sleeping down here, I don't want to disturb. Oh, the moon, baby, check out the moon, dancing in the moonlight, come on and dancing in the moonlight. I love checking the time. You can check the time up there. You know, funny thing about time, it's like we're slaves to time. You know, if you wear a watch, if you wear or listen to an alarm, you know, you're checking the time. How much time do I have? I want to save time. You know, it's like time is money. Time is you know, time is the luxury, right? Like the time that you spend doing the thing that you love. You know, we have what, probably a good, for most people we have like a good 8 hours in the day to do things, but maybe we squander that time, you know, considering if you work for 8 hours a day, sleep for 8 hours a day. I don't know. Oh, let's go with my parkour route. Yeah, but when you move your physical body through the world, you know, this is where I thrive, and I feel like I exist outside the passage of time, similar to that of God. You know, walking is godlike. Look at the beautiful colors casted across the sky. It's so amazing to see in the morning, the sunrise. Holy, look at that, baby. So nice. Man, the simple pleasures, I'll tell you. Let's not fall into the water today. So yeah, movement, right? Walking. Yeah, this is how to exist outside the passage of time. You know, there's something about novelty that I think we're seeking in this modern world, right? And a simple suggestion is to just go for a walk in the park, go to the river, go to a body of water, the stinky Schuylkill. I love the smell of the stinky Schuylkill, you know, it's nostalgic. It fills me with this abundant sensation. No, but seriously, if you're just sitting around, you know, time just flies by, right? You know, I walk through the mall and I hear this, someone that's like standing around, just like they just like work at the like counter or something, and man, it just like sucks. Like when I walk through the mall, it feels like a prison or something. Like those little stores are like little prison cells. And I hear like, oh, you know, like the day's moving by so fast. It's like, yeah, time just slips through your fingers. You know, time just passes you by when you live on standby. So yeah, so I choose movement. I choose walking. I think there's, you know, there's really no coincidence, right? We're bipedal for a reason, right? We have two legs. We stand upright. Yeah, it makes sense. You know, it's like we're designed to be moving and standing and doing things. However, it seems that we sacrifice our bodies in a strange way that almost goes against our natural physiological needs, you know, such as sitting down, operating technology, and just being under air conditioning. Like, I hear a lot of people lately tell me, you know, they ask me, oh my God, you know, like, where were you? Like, were you on vacation, like on an island or something? Because I have, you know, tan skin, and like, how did you get so tan? It's like this really pale person with like sunglasses on. I'm like, I just go outside and walk around. Like, I think we're becoming really accustomed to being locked away in the cage, in the dungeon, in the fluorescent lights, you know, under the AC. And I genuinely believe that these things weaken you. You know, where I hear people, they come out of being inside all day and they're just so startled by the sun. They're like, whoa, the sun, you know, they need to put on the glasses, and then they're, you know, they're just like, oh, it's so hot. You know, they can't breathe. Like, they're so used to breathing in like an AC that they can't breathe the fresh air from the tree. And to me, that's, yeah, that's kind of concerning. I don't know. It seems like we're becoming way too accustomed to just like weakening our bodies. Like, I don't know, something about sunlight. People think that it's bad for you, you know, you'll get wrinkly skin when you're old. It's like, bring it on. Like, I'll take the cancer. Give me sun cancer. If it's gonna cause cancer and I have, you know, some sort of like cancer because of the sun, okay, well, take me out, God. I'm ready to go. You know, like, I'd rather be happy and fueled with vitality and power, you know, because I genuinely believe that the sun is the charger and our body is the battery, and the more that you stay under the sun, the more powerful I feel. But nowadays, like, most people, I hear the opposite. It's like, is everything that I think wrong or right? You know, I may be right, I may be wrong. But you know, you hear people say, oh, you know, you know, like, when I'm out in the sun, my you know, I feel like I'm being drained of my energy. You know, just being out in the heat, it drains my energy. But then they go into the AC and it's like, refreshing. But to me, it's the complete opposite. I start to feel like sick and tired if I'm sitting down in the AC. But the second I'm like out and about under the sun, like even in a scorching hot summer day, in the mid 90s, in the high 90s, you know, in the heat. You know, we had a heat wave recently. I felt better in the heat wave than under the AC. Like, I feel like once I start doing something physically, you know, through movement, you know, that's where I thrive, especially under the sun. Like, there's something about, you know, the sun itself. Like, I think when I consider photography, right, I think it's like phos, like the Greek words like phos, meaning light, and then graphia or graph or whatever, meaning drawing or writing. So yeah, it's drawing with light. Follow the light. I remember hearing a photographer say, oh, I'm looking for the shadows today. I was like, nah, man, follow the light. Follow the light, follow the light. But yeah, I think yeah, I think there's something about the sun. I'm just still, it's just like, it feels so good. I can't wait for it to come out. Like, I come out here during dawn. You know, dawn is interesting. Like, before sunrise, I think that the light is beautiful, and you know, you get to have this communion with God. You know, you get to listen to the birds. It's just like so peaceful. and then I come out here and I'm just like, let me just destroy everything. But yeah, drawing with light, yeah, there's something about photography. It's like this instant sketch of life. It's the quickest way to make something, and yeah, it just fuels my life, and it gives my life meaning. Yo, what's up, man? Morning. Heart, check it out. There's a drawing of a heart. Yeah, when I contemplate a photograph, right, what is a photograph? You know, you think of a photograph as, you know, this thing, this like slice of time, you know, this thing that stands out of time. You know, I believe a photograph, you know, it defies physics. It's defying space and time and gravity and all these things. It kind of exists in its own world. Now with the advent of digital photography, right? You know, you think of a photograph as a print, a paper choice, you know, a film stock, a lens choice, you know, to give you this result, to give you this photograph, this light on surface, kind of base level thinking of a photograph. However, when I consider a photograph, I believe that it is a reflection of your courage. Courage meaning heart, right? I believe that the goal of an artist, or a street photographer specifically, is to simply position yourself on the front lines of life, close to life itself, both physically and emotionally, and fueling your lust for life through the medium, right? Photography displays your lust for life. Are you in love with life? Are you curious and courageous? You know, I believe that these things are more important to consider than how you see the world visually, compositionally, technically. You know, like those kind of ideas don't interest me as much. You know, the visual game of putting together composition, you know, lighting, color, contrast, composition, blah blah blah. Like these notions to me are super boring and easy and anyone can pick up, but there's something about the physicality of photography, right, where we move our bodies and we position ourselves close to life, and you know, that requires this courage, that requires this sort of curiosity, if you will. And yeah, I just like to remind myself about this because I think it's really important, because a lot of the times we get caught up with the visual, but I think we should start thinking more physical. Paynes Park, skate park. I freaking love this skate park. You know, they tore down the old Love Park. However, I believe this skate park, look, I'm no like street, I grew up going to the FDR skate park, the DIY, big, bad, concrete, rad ramps. But this, to me, it's like, it reminds me of Love Park, right? We have these big banks, there's even brick quarter pipes and things, so it really does like simulate what it's like to be on the streets, like at a street spot like Love Park or whatever. But I think it's really nice. It's a really nice skate plaza here. You can even get a view of the skyline. This is actually, yeah, a really cool spot. And there's the art museum. That's where I head on my walk. And yeah, so why am I thinking about these things? I think movement is medicine, right? Movement is the answer to this modern world. It's the antidote, it's the cure, it's the medicine. I think that we should move more. You know, what is the telos of movement? What is the telos of walking? Maybe the goal is, or the purpose is, to increase your physical strength, right? To think about physiology, right? You know, there's something about removing the shoes and then putting on the Vibram ELX shoes where I believe that my feet and my legs and my posture, you know, these things are all becoming stronger, where I'm able to walk very long distances practically on my feet all day without shoes. Well, I guess these are technically shoes, right? But there's only like a 3mm sole, so you do feel the sensations, right? So it's mostly, to me, the purpose is increasing physical strength, and also there's something about thinking. I think that walking and being outside, it enhances your thoughts, it enhances the way that you think and also create, right? So maybe the goal is not only to increase your strength and to think, but also to create and to produce. And so yeah, having the camera with you is the quickest and easiest way to produce things, you know, whether I'm using the GoPro Mini, 30 FPS, 1080p, just kidding. I like 720p because it's a smaller file size. And yeah, I like using the Ricoh GR3, got it on the wrist strap. I think the wrist strap and having a small compact camera, it just makes everything simple, right? The GoPro. And then so what is the pathos of street photography, right? There's this almost like the pathos of walking, right, or movement, you know, where I think that the emotional and even like there's just like sensual feeling that you get while moving, and especially being barefoot, kind of where you feel the sensations, right? You feel this physical sensation. There's the stinky smell of the Schuylkill or the smell of the fresh grass. You know, there's the auditory experience where you hear the sounds of the birds. You know, there's a visual feast of the colors in the sky and the view in front of you. You know, there's something about the sensations of walking where there's all of these different sensations and experiences that you can have while moving. And yeah, I think this is a good thing. I think that yeah, the feeling of walking and all the different sensual experiences that you can have connect you more to the moment and the now, right? That fleeting moment. So yeah, maybe that's the greatest joy of walking, because it does make you feel this joyful, blissful sensation. And then I feel like from that sensation of bliss, of connectedness, you can then produce more. And so yeah, maybe with photography, the simplest solution is using a camera like the Ricoh GR3 because it does fit in your pocket. I'm thinking about like an archive more than a project. You know, maybe the way that I'm shooting, now that I think about it, you know, I'm using the smallest JPEG. I'm using this high contrast black and white setting where there's no processing needed. You know, the files are maybe 4 megabytes. You know, they can upload and be downloaded quickly. I use the Photos app on my iPad. Everything imports quickly with an SD reader. I favorite them, I add them to a monthly selections folder, and then I put them in a year folder, back those up into the cloud on Google Photos. The link is shareable. Actually, if you go to my website, just DanteSisifo.com, and then go to the Start Here page, I believe there's like a new photos link, and if you click it, it goes to my Google Photos drive, and you can see almost like, I think I have like 6,000 photos uploaded from the past 2 years. And while they're not any like final selections or whatever you would deem to be the keeper or blah blah, the point is to produce and, you know, figure it out later. Like, I think that going forward, my goal is longevity, and not necessarily the final product being like a book or a show or a print or this or that, but to consider the digital archive. You know, while a physical archive would even be easy to produce with this current workflow, because there's not going to be much technical choices to be made when printing, considering the aesthetics of black and white being pushed to the highest contrast possible. I don't know, I'm trying to think more about it. It's like I'm shooting more for like an archive. Like, I feel like I'm shooting for, you know, a 50-year archive, 60-year archive, 70-year archive. You know, I want to photograph for a century, and yeah, make it so accessible and easy so that in the future there's less headaches where, let's say I do make 1 billion photos. Yeah, I want you to be able to download them all with lightning speed. And I have no idea. I'm like technically impaired, and like I don't like thinking about these things, but I'm trying to. I think there's something about my process right now that makes sense, but I need to think about it more. Yeah, like maybe shoot for an archive, not a project. That's my goal. And also make a website, delete your Instagram, wordpress.org. Yeah, go to bluehost.com, host your first name, last name.com, buy your own domain, wordpress.org, Astra theme, plug and play, upload your photos to your media library, upload your photos to Google Photos, make an album, make it open and shareable, make it available on your website, and then figure out how to make your own email that isn't attached to like the @Gmail. So my email, if you want to send me photos, or your website, if you make one, Dante@DanteSisifo.com. Just send me an email there. Send me your photos. And yeah, if you're in Philly and you want to shoot, yeah, meet me at the Eagle.